I call Gareth Hughes.
Kia ora, Mr Speaker. I rise to oppose this destructive bill. Mr Speaker, climate change is the greatest global threat. It's happening faster than we expected and we're nearing those dangerous tipping points. We stand on the precipice of catastrophic climate change, but this isn't just a problem for future generations anymore. It's a problem now. Recently, UN Secretary General Kofi Annan in a report said that 300,000 people are dying every year, predominantly amongst those who have caused it the least. The fact is, though, Mr Speaker, we have a chance. The window is still ajar. We can still avoid the worst of climate change. But in this debate, I don't want to talk about the Carteret Islanders or the Bangladeshis, the Tuvaluans, the real face at the front line of climate change. I don't want to talk about the penguins or the polar bears on the cusp of extinction. I want to talk about why I'm opposing this bill, which is because of my kids. It's because when my son, Arlo, is expected to enter intermediate school, we will see the failing, according to experts, of the Arctic sea ice in summer months. When my son is thinking about starting a family, we could see tens of millions of climate refugees from those countries I talked about around the world. At the time of him thinking about retiring from work, we could see the extinction and complete destruction of island countries around the world. This isn't just a political or a scientific or an economic issue. At its heart, this is a moral issue, and New Zealand has a responsibility to act. We have to act. We've got one of the highest per-person emission rates in the world. Our emissions are going through the roof, 25% above what we promised in 1990. And under our current system, we aren't standing out front. We're not out. This isn't a story about us marching out in front of the world. This is about us doing our fair share. Mr Goldsmith said the Greens weren't looking at other countries around the world. The fact is we've got a huge document here which we've tried to table, which the National Party refused, showing all the countries who are making pledges. Countries are doing stuff. We're the ones being left behind. And as we debated in this debate, the ETS is the government's main response to climate change. And what this bill does is weaken an already weak and effectual scheme. So what are the experts saying about the National Party's bill? Well, my colleague Dr Kennedy Graham says it's weakening it to an irrelevancy. Brian Fallow says it's putting the ETS into an induced coma. The Parliamentary Commissioner for the Environment calls it toothless and a farce. And Rod Oram says it most bluntly, you're killing it. This bill will see more cheap offshore scam credits flood our carbon markets. This bill will see only some firms covering only 5% of their carbon costs. This bill maintains that 1-for-2 deal beyond 2012 indefinitely. This bill maintains the $25 price cap indefinitely, meaning those involved in the scheme will face no incentive to reduce their emissions. This bill defers agriculture indefinitely again, meaning the taxpayer will continue to subsidise this industry, which is responsible for half of our emissions for years to come. This bill will see emissions rise, deforestation accelerate, and our country's reputation erode even further. Many of these criticisms are valid of the government's existing ETS, and what they're doing here is making a bad situation even worse. The fact is there's a cost to our kids and the future generation, but it's also a cost to the taxpayer. This bill is destructive. It's destructive for our climate future. It's destructive for our carbon markets. It's destructive for a clean economy and green jobs. Under this ineffectual scheme, the taxpayer has had to pick up the tab $1 billion in the last financial year, and now MFE predict this amendment bill will increase at another $330 million over the next 4. I mean, what's the point of a trading scheme if it's not sending a market signal to invest in clean energy, when it's in fact sending the wrong signal to keep investing in polluting technology and old-fashioned practices? What we've seen around this bill is a shocking rushed process. Only 2 weeks were given for submissions on one of the most technical, controversial, economy-wide policy debates. If only the government would act with the haste when it comes to passing bad legislation as they did in tackling climate change. And this bill is going to go down thanks to the vote of one man. That one man is Peter Dunn. He's going to go down, his legacy in this House, as the man who sold the assets, and now he's also going to be the man who sold out our climate future. The fact is the environmental bandits in our government are selling out all of our kids' futures. When the world's crying out for clean energy, we could be providing them. This isn't a cost. This isn't a risk. This is a business opportunity. It's a moral imperative to act. Tackling climate change is about investing in clean energy. It is about energy efficiency. It's about public transport. It's about smart farming. It's about building jobs. When the world's crying out for jobs, when we've got tens of thousands of New Zealanders out of work, leaving the country, let's invest in our kids' futures. I want to look at my son in the eye and say we did everything.
I call Maggie Berry.
Thank you.